It's never too late to start to heal our hearts. If there is hurt there is help.
This podcast encourages and empowers you to create your own unique real story, develop your own unique real statement, and discover your own unique real self. The power is yours. Good morning, Svava Brooks. Previously, episode 292 of the 12-Minute Convo podcast. We spoke just about 2 years, 8 months, 22 days, and 11 hours ago.
It's time we remember who we are. We are, like you said, amazing, beautiful, courageous, kind, generous souls. Trust yourself and your heart, and you're here to learn about love. And love is about the journey to the heart, where the lessons are always about love.
That was then. This is now. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm doing great. That's so funny.
Well, it's really a grand opportunity I'm getting here to invite forward podcast guests, check in, see how they're doing, see how things have progressed. What's going on in your world?
Just keep going. What I'm doing, my heart sings when I get to help adult survivors of trauma and abuse heal and restore. I mean, as a trauma coach, that's my passion and what I do. So there's been some growth, and I can see, just reflecting back where I was when we last talked, just taking a little bit different direction with my business. But family's doing great, and I'm doing great, and life is good.
That's wonderful. That's great to hear. Well, let's dig into that. So we all have a song is definitely the theme we touched on the last time we spoke. Please express and explain that to us, please.
We all have a song. Well, you asked what song I liked when I was in high school. And that was ABBA, since I'm born and raised in Iceland. That was when the ABBA fever was in Iceland as well. And my favorite song was Dancing Queen, because I definitely was the dancing queen in high school. I love to dance. I've always danced. I did ballroom dancing for years. And yeah, so I'm the disco dancing queen.
I love it. Now, you have 3 children. Does any one of them dance?
Yeah, not the way I used to, but yeah, they've got some good moves.
Now you're intriguing me. Not the way I used to.
I'm just saying the 80s, we'll, not go back to that, right? Those days when there was a lot of glitter and a lot of poofy hair and big
the heels,
earrings.
right?
Exactly. Yes. Platform shoes too. And so anyways, yeah, I'm having some flashbacks here with you. So
it's always a great opportunity, to venture down the journey, the road of the past. And you've done that and found a way to help others. Explain to us how you're helping those who were abused.
Yes, for so long, I've been on the healing journey myself for about 25 years. I keep saying 25 years. It's creeping up, I know. But I grew up in a household with domestic violence and never felt safe really going to bed. And so that has a really lasting impact on a child and our body and our psyche. And so I didn't know the impact that it had on me until I started my healing when I became pregnant of my oldest daughter. And it was really my motivation to stop the cycle of abuse, because I knew that unless I understood what had happened to me, that I might not be able to protect her, or I would be passing on some of the trauma to her. So as I found a way to heal my heart and my body and my soul, people started coming to me. Both people, other survivors, recognized that I had figured something out and I was living what's normal. Nobody knows what normal is, but relatively normal and a healthy, stable life. So I started sharing that. And I was also a very big fan of survivor support groups, since that was such a key piece to my healing. I was in a support group for about 5 years when I started my journey. And so now I host online support groups from people all over the world. And the biggest part of our conversation is to talk about the impact of trauma. And I mean, how has trauma impacted how we think, how we feel, and basically how we treat ourselves. And so if we want to make the world a better place, we have to start with ourselves. And the truth is, there's so much we can do to help ourselves change. And again, We know that trauma is multi-generational, but I've been on a mission to stop, like I said earlier, stop the cycle of trauma. And I'm empowering the people that I work with to help them understand there's nothing wrong with you. You're just a textbook example of an adult that went through a rough start in life. And here are the tools and the skills and the support to change that.
Focusing on the gifts of others, it's important, isn't it, in sessions like these?
Yes, absolutely. To hold up the mirror about, how beautiful humans are, the strengths that we already have, and literally that, our biology, the bodies that we have are so wise. And the same part of our bodies that has protected us and kept us safe is the same part once we learn to work with it that's going to help us heal and release the pain and change those beliefs about ourselves and change our thoughts about ourselves in the world. And as a result of it, we're able to establish inner peace, calm inside our hearts, then our outside world becomes calm.
Yeah, you expressed how we evolve through our pain.
Yes, absolutely. I can still remember when my husband asked me or told me many, many years ago that perhaps what I went through, there was a reason for it. And I was so mad at him for saying that because I wouldn't wish a day of my childhood on anybody. But now I am incredibly grateful for everything that I've been through, because in healing through it, and that was a lot of pain, a lot of tears, a lot of hurt and grief, I found my capacity to love. And the more I healed my heart and my hurt, I see myself in all people. So the more compassion I have found through being relentless, I'm a little relentless, to really finding my heart. I knew at some point I'm here to learn about love. And I really, really, really wanted to understand that fully, embody, because love isn't something we think about, it's something that we feel. And I had no idea what loving Svava looked or felt like. And so once I was able to kind of tap into what that felt like, how to help others see that by going through the hurt, there are no quick fixes, but going through the hurt, facing the pain, learning to sit with ourselves, reparenting ourselves in some way, become the parent and the protector that we needed. We become really compassionate, kind, wise humans. And that's what the world needs more of right now.
Your name represents the character that goes and picks up the wounded from the battlefield. Isn't it fascinating how that connects to what you're doing now?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's right. We talked about that last time. You asked me about the meaning of my name. Yeah, it is fascinating how the name I was given actually represents what I do in some ways.
That's wonderful. So David is your husband. How's he doing?
He's doing well. We are enjoying summer here in Portland, Oregon. We are both entrepreneurs, which gives us a little bit of time freedom. And both working from home or out of our home office. I think you know a little bit what that's like.
I do. I definitely do. Well, the children on your side have grown up. I have a 9-year-old and a 5-year-old, and we're expecting. So it's you can well imagine how that is. You have 2 girls and 1 boy. How has everything that you've taken on impacted them?
Yes, my adult daughters are not living at home anymore. My baby is 16, so and bigger than me. So they're doing very, very well. And the work that I do has impacted us as a family in a way that we're very trauma informed, meaning we lead with our hearts. We talk about our feelings. And basically, what's happened in the last 6 to 8 months is that my oldest now works for me and with me. She had her own head injury as a soccer player in college. When she came back home from college, she needed to rest to recover from the head injury. And then as a result of that and through her own therapy, became very interested in trauma. And so now she works with me. And so we actually just partnered up and opened up a community for survivors, online community, where we're talking more about health and wellness, because we need a healthy, strong body to be able to do the healing work. So instead of passing down another layer of trauma, I'm doing my best to pass down the healing, which is, helping my kids have some hard conversations And I know that they're very equipped to that. And even my 16-year-old son has often come home from school and talked to me about he recognizes how kids are hurt around him. And in some cases, he's even asked me to reach out to the school. He's had some friends that he's been concerned about. And I believe he sees it because we talk about it at home. And I've always told my kids when kids are being bullies, it's because they're hurting. You know, they're acting out in some way. Nobody is born bad or mean. Something is happening that they're struggling with resolving or finding help.
Where's the best place for someone that's listening to connect with you?
My website, svavabrooks.com.
Svava, I want to say thank you so much for being true to your own unique, real self. It brings great pleasure to have the opportunity to be your podcast accountability partner and call you 2 years and 8 months and 22 days and 11 hours after, and hear that you're still following through with the thing you set up as the decision for your life, to be an inspiration, to be the individual that's helping others. So I do thank you for that. Before we leave, is there anything else you'd like to share with our amazing audience?
Just a reminder, it's never too late to start to heal our hearts. If there is hurt there is help, and you will learn such good things about yourself if you face the fear and move through it. And it's worth it. Living from the heart instead of the hurt is what life's all about.
Again, Svava, a treasure, a pleasure. Thank you for being on What is Inspired by 12-Minute Convos with Angel Jones. This podcast is produced by Pod Edits. Visit podedits.com for professional podcast publishing.